And it looks like both teams are heading out to the field. It looks like VHS will be starting off the first kick. And here we go. Vineland currently passing it amongst themselves. And that is the first out of bounds of the game. Goes right over the fence as well. And that looks to be the number 6 of Middle Township, of which is Carmen O'Hara. VHS already fighting hard to move it upwards. That seems to be the number 6 of Vineland right there. Number 6 of Vineland being Amanda Nemeth. Or sorry, number 16 of Vineland, who is Sophia DeVito. And that will also be the first goal of the game. Vineland now up by 1 point over Middle Township. Middle Township will now be able to start off the ball. Middle Township kicks it off as the number 22 passes it off from Middle Township. That is Gabriella Oliver. As the number 9 of Jalissa Cortez fighting for the ball. Number 2 fighting with the number 9 over there. Middle Township moving quickly over to the goal. However, Vineland is able to defend it and hit it right back to about center field. Number 4 of Middle Township over there. That being McKenna Oliver. Back in from almost going out of bounds. VHS fighting to keep the ball in play. Middle Township putting up a pretty good defense against Vineland after letting that first goal slip through. VHS kicks the ball, but intercepted by Middle Township, goes right past over the touchline to out of bounds. That will be a corner kick for VHS. Kicking it off will be the number 13, who is Victoria Hoadley. Kicks it in, and Middle Township kicks it out away from their goal as the number 10 to intercept it. Intercepted by the number 6, and that looks like it will go over to Middle Township for possession as the number 21 of Middle Township being Parker Milstead. Kicks off the ball. Goes to about center field. Over to the number 9 of Jalissa. Tries to pass it upwards, but gets intercepted by Middle Township. Number 11 fighting with the number 11. Number 11 for Middle Township being Zoe Super. Number 11 of VHS being Anaya Gonzalez. That will be a header from VHS, but that looks like that will be an out of bounds. That will be thrown in by the number 4 of Middle Township, McKenna Oliver. Middle Township moving over towards the goal. Moving over there pretty quickly, has a good shot, And it just goes out of bounds off past the touchline to the side of the goal. They had a pretty good run up there to possibly score a point, but just slightly off to the side. VHS will be kicking it back out. That will be the number 7 of Ashlyn Newton. Kicks it to about the 35-yard line. And that will be intercepted by VHS's goalie. Goalie kicks it out over to Jalissa. And that looks like that will be an out of bounds. So that will go over to Middle Township. As the number 6 of Middle Township heading up to throw in the ball. VHS putting up a good defense to keep the ball away from their goal. Jalissa moving up with the ball, passes it over, intercepted by the number 6 of Middle Township. That's a header from one of the VHS players over there. Looks to be the number 10 of Cicely Cuccinello. I am sorry if I butchered that name. Passes it over to the number 6 of VHS. Passes it over to the number 3 of VHS, that being Angela Cascabas. Goes for a kick. However, it looks like that will be intercepted by Middle Township's goalie. Middle Township kicks it off into the air up to about center field. VHS passing it amongst themselves, playing keep away from Middle Township. Middle Township hits a really long shot over into VHS's half of the field, but it looks like that will go out of bounds. Looks like it went all out of bounds off of a VHS player, therefore it will go over to Middle Township. Number 11 of Middle Township tosses it in. Number 5 intercepts it, and that looks like that will be a out of bounds. And that looks to be another out of bounds. And actually, that previous kick looked like it was actually a penalty kick rather than a out of bounds. That looks like that will go to VHS to throw in. That is the number 7 of VHS throwing in the ball, Ashley Newton. Kicks in the ball. Number 22 intercepts it, but it looks like the number 10 going after the ball. There's the number 17 of VHS fighting with the number 28 of Middle Township to keep the ball. Number 3 of Middle Township passes it over to the number 5. Number 5 passes it over to the number 11 of Middle Township. 5 kicks it over, intercepted by VHS. Kicks it to about center field again. Kicks the ball, intercepted by Middle Township. That is the number 22 of Middle Township. Number 7 of VHS rushing to grab the ball. Number 3 has it, but is stopped by the goalie. VHS, luckily, while the goalie was down, one of their other teammates was able to go over and kick the ball away. Great defense there from VHS. However, it looks like Middle Township is putting on quite a hard offense as well. And that looks to be the number 3 of VHS, passes off, but is intercepted by the number 2 of Middle Township. Number 6 kicks it up, passes it over. Middle Township moving over. And that looks to be an offsides. VHS kicking off the ball. VHS kicks the ball over, passes it to the number 12, whom is Lexi Rosado. Kicks it over. Just a little bit too overshot. Middle Township's goalie able to get it, although very close there. And it looks like they're going to kick it up into the air. Header from one of the VHS members. Another header from VHS. Almost a triple. Passes over to the number... Moving back over into VHS's half of the field. Middle Township, number 3, fighting there to keep it. But it looks like VHS's goalie steps up and is able to grab it just before they were able to make a shot on goal. VHS passing it to one another. That looks to be the number 17 there. Back over into VHS's half of the field. Just another long shot that nobody could get to. So it went over to VHS's goalie to kick it in. Kicks it up into the air. Almost was a header from Middle Township. VHS kicks it back up into the air. Middle Township's goalie running pretty quickly over there. Very risky moves over here. From both of the goalies running up so far to grab the ball, not leaving much room for error. That looks to be the number 10 of VHS, has the ball, passes it over, and that looks like that'll be an out of bounds, and that will be an out of bounds off of Middle Township. Ball will get passed over to VHS for possession. And that looks like it will be a throw-in, and it looks like also a sub for VHS. Jalissa Cortez going after the ball. That seems to be the number 7 of VHS, kicking the ball back over to their goalie. Number 12 of VHS grabbing the ball, passes it over. And almost going out of bounds there. However, they were just able to keep it in play. There's the number 9 of VHS going after the ball again. Passes it over to the number 17. Kicks the ball off of one of the other players over. Middle Township fighting for the ball there with what looks to be the number 10 of VHS. And that looks to be that it will be going over to Middle Township for a kick. That will be the number 1 of Middle Township kicking it off. That is Riley Odom. Kicks it up. VHS able to get it back down to the ground. Ball going up in the air a lot right here. And that looks like that'll be out of bounds off of Middle Township. Go over to VHS for possession. VHS throws it in. Over into VHS's half of the field, and that looks like that will go over past the touchline to the goalie. That'll be the number 7 of VHS kicking it off. Number 9 of VHS kicks it up into the air, stopped back to the ground by the number 2 of Middle Township, of which being... And that looks like that'll be the first goal for Middle Township. VHS and Middle Township now tied 1-1. Shot in there by the number 2, of which we do not seem to have on our roster. VHS kicks it off. Picks it up, however, that looks like it's going to go out of bounds. Middle Township getting a throw in. Number 6 of Middle Township throws it in. Header from the number 22. And that looks like that'll go over to VHS for a kick. VHS kicks it up. Over to the other side of the field. Middle Township putting up great defense, but VHS moving quickly up. VHS moving over to the goal. Goes for a shot. And that is a goal for VHS. That is now 2-1. VHS making a quick comeback there after having Middle Township score on them. This being a great game so far. Both teams working on their absolute A game. And this looks like it'll be Middle Township kicking it off. And VHS passing amongst themselves inside their own half. Moving it up quickly to about center field. Looks like it's just a little too far ahead. Therefore, looks like Middle Township's goalie is going to be able to snatch it just in time. Kicks it up in the air over to about midfield. And that will be out of bounds. Looks to be the number 11 of Middle Township tossing it in. Number 11 being Zoe Super. Looks to be the VHS number 6 who had the ball. That would be Amanda Nemeth. Number 28 of Middle Township goes for the ball there, but VHS is able to pass it back to their number 11. Number 6 of Middle Township intercepts the ball, passes it over. That'll be a header from Middle Township over to VHS. And that looks like it will go over to Middle Township for a kick. Middle Township goes for a kick. Vineland hits it up into the air. Header from Middle Township, but VHS's goalie just able to nab it. Goalie kicks it up into the air. That's a header from the number 5, of which being Kelly Sanchez. VHS passing it back to their own goalie. Kicks it up into the air. Almost another header from the number 22. Number 6 of VHS intercepts it. Passes it over. VHS moving quickly up there. However, it looks like Middle Township's goalie is just able to grab it again. Hitting it just a little too far ahead of him. Middle Township's goalie kicks it up. VHS kicks it right back over. And that looks like it'll be out of bounds. That'll be an out of bounds off of VHS. Or not. So that looks like that will be a penalty kick for Middle Township. Number 1 kicks off the ball. Out to about center field again. VHS going for the ball. Header from one of the Middle Township team members. Middle Township moving pretty quickly over to the goal, but just able to grab it in time. VHS's goalie. VHS has the ball in possession, moving up over towards the goal, but it looks like it will almost be kicked out of bounds by the number 21 of Middle Township, that being Parker Milstead. I'll go over to VHS for a throw-in. That was the number 3 throwing it in for VHS. That was Angela Cascabas. I'll go back over to possession to the Middle Township Panthers. Sitting around center field right now. That is the number 9, Jalissa Cortez, fighting to keep the ball back over into Middle Township's half. Header from Jalissa there. Kicked back over. Number 3 of Middle Township heading over, passes it over to the number 2, but that will be kicked out of bounds by the VHS number 7. Looks to be a throw-in for Middle Township. Throws it in. VHS has a lot of their players set up over there to defend. VHS passes it upwards, however, is stopped by Middle Township. Middle Township kicks it way far out to the other side. And that will be a goal for Middle Township. Goalie just came up there a little bit too close, and they were able to find the hole. That will be 2-2. Both sides tied now with 2 points. VHS getting ready to kick off. VHS starts off with the ball, passes it back. That's the number 11, passes it over. Both teams fighting hard today, both making swift comebacks to score points as quick as they can. VHS fighting over here with Middle Township. That will be an out of bounds off of a VHS player. That will go to Middle Township to throw in. Throws it in, intercepted by the number 10. However, intercepted again by Middle Township. Middle Township moving up swiftly there. However, VHS's goalie just able to grab it. VHS throws it in, but is headed by Middle Township back to the player who threw it in. as the number 10 of VHS passes it up over to the looked like number 15 of VHS, that being Gianna Hendershot. VHS kicks it out. And that looks to be that Middle Township is subbing out one of their players. Middle Township Panthers throw it in. VHS moving back over to Middle Township's half. Middle Township's goalie moving pretty far up there, as the number 9 of VHS has it. However, is intercepted by the number 2 of Middle Township. Number 28 passes it over. And that looks to be VHS's goalie running over to grab the ball. VHS kicks it up. Kicks it up again. And that looks like it will be possession back over to VHS. VHS passes it upwards. Taking some pretty long shots here. And it looks like Middle Township's goalie will be able to grab it. And it looks to be a situation on the field. And that looks to be a kick for VHS. VHS will get a shot to possibly score on goal. Let's see if Middle Township can put up a good wall defense. VHS kicks it over right into the goalie's hands. Goalie of Middle Township kicks it up to about just out of bounds, almost to about center field. I'll go over to VHS for possession. However, it looks like they will be subbing out a couple of their players. To be the number 13, it looked to be fighting there with Middle Township. Middle Township running up to grab the ball, just kicks it out of bounds. Number 6 of VHS throws it in. Number 2 trying to intercept it to kick it back out of bounds. Number 6 kicks it over and is intercepted by Middle Township, trying to kick it back over into Vineland's half. But it looks like Vineland is just able to get it. However, that looks like it will go out of bounds past the touchline. Number 21 passing it over to the number 1 of Middle Township. Kicks it up, and that looks like it will go out of bounds again. VHS throwing it in. VHS kicks it up quickly over to one of the goals. Oh, and just past the front of Middle Township's goal. Very close shot there. Could have almost been another point for VHS, which would have put them in the lead. Number 21 of Middle Township looks like they're about to kick off the ball. Kicks it up. And it looks like that'll go out of bounds again off of Middle Township. VHS throws it in. Really putting the pressure on VHS, or on VHS really putting the pressure on Middle Township, trying to get this game untied. And that looks like that'll be another out of bounds off of a VHS player going over to Middle Township. Middle Township throws in the ball. Kicks it up and over. However, that looks like VHS's goalie is just able to grab it. Goalie kicks it up over to the number 9 of VHS. Kicks it back over to the goalie. VHS's goalie kicks it up to about the 40-yard line. Middle Township able to intercept it, but VHS able to regain possession of the ball. Almost going out of bounds there. VHS just able to move it out of the way of Middle Township. And that is almost going over into VHS's goal. That looks to be a timeout. Looks like one of Middle Township's players was injured. Looks like she got kicked in the shin pretty hard there. VHS has possession of the ball. Middle Township kicking it back over. Keeping it in the VHS half. That looks to be the number 28. Goes for a pass. Goes for a kick, but it looks like the goalie is just able to keep it out of the way. That is going to be an out of bounds, and that will go over to Middle Township for possession. And that will go over now to VHS for possession. VHS throws it in. Header from the number 22 there, and that is an out-of-bounds kick by Middle Township. VHS throws it in as a header from Middle Township. That is the number 6 of VHS, who currently has the ball. Tries to pass it over, intercepted by the number 5 of Middle Township. VHS's goalie just able to grab it in time. Currently sitting in VHS's half. Almost going out of bounds there. Just saved by one of the VHS players. Middle Township with possession of the ball. Passes it over to the number 2. Number 2 heading quickly over towards the goal. But it looks like VHS's goalie just able to grab it. Kicks it way up into the air. Middle Township going for possession, kicking it back and forth. VHS heading up there to grab the ball, stop it from going out of bounds. Deep into Middle Township's half, just stopped by Middle Township's own goalie. Kicks it up into the air to about the 45-yard line. VHS trying to keep it in Middle Township's half. But it looks like Middle Township was just able to get it past the halfway mark. Moving over into VHS's side. Moving pretty quickly at that. VHS able to regain possession. Passing it over to the number 9 of Jalissa Cortez. looks like VHS will move it over into Middle Township High School's half. A little bit of miscommunication there between the goalie and one of the Middle Township players, almost moving it into a weak spot for Middle Township High School. That looks like that'll be an out of bounds off of a Middle Township player. Therefore, VHS will be throwing it in. VHS throws it in. Middle Township able to just keep it away. And that looks like that would be an out of bounds off of... Looks like that would be an out of bounds off of Middle Township. And that will go over to VHS for a corner kick. As the number 13 of Victoria Hoadley. VHS kicks it up. And that will actually go over the fence past the touchline. A lot of power in that kick there, sending it upwards. Now go over to Middle Township for possession. That'll be the number... Middle Township kicking it back over into about halfway of the field. Number 26 passing it to the number 1 over there. Passes it back to the number 26 of Middle Township. Number 16 of VHS going for the ball. Passes it to the number 12. And that looks to be an out of bounds. VHS throws it back in. Middle Township fighting to keep it away. Number 9 of VHS passes it back over. Hitting the ball way up in the air a couple times here and there. And VHS kicks it, and it's just caught by Middle Township's goalie. VHS moving up there pretty quickly, passes it over, hit up into the air by Middle Township, but it looks like, oh! And that looks like that will go over to VHS. Number 6 of VHS getting what looks like a free kick on goal. Let's see how it goes. Goes for the kick. And that is a goal for VHS. That is now 3-2. Great job out here today so far from VHS. Fighting Clan putting up quite the fight, pun intended, against the Middle Township High School Panthers. Middle Township has possession of the ball first, passes it over to the number 11 of Middle Township. VHS already fighting to get that ball back from them. VHS kicking it up and over. And that looks to be an out of bounds off of a Middle Township player. Therefore, it will go over to VHS to throw in. VHS regaining possession of the ball. Moving up over, passes it up, but intercepted by the number 6 of Middle Township. Header from VHS to keep it back over into the other side of the field, as the number 10 of VHS with possession of the ball at the current moment. Kicks it up and over to what looks to be the number 3. Number 6 passes it back over to the number 3. Number 3 kicks it over. Middle Township High School just able to keep it out of the way, away from their goal. But VHS fighting there with the number 3 to keep it away. And that looks like that'll go over to Middle Township for possession. Sitting over in VHS's half. And that will be an out of bounds. I'll go over to Middle Township to throw in as the number 6 of Middle Township. As the number 9 of VHS able to grab it, sends it over to the number 10. Number 10 kicks it upwards over to Middle Township. As the number 10 of VHS right now with possession of the ball, kicks it upwards. Pretty far kick up. Pretty deep into Middle Township's half of the field. Ball goes up into the air. And that looks like that'll go just past the touchline out of bounds. That'll go over to VHS for a corner kick. VHS goes for the kick and is blocked by Middle Township's goalie. Picked up and ran up and thrown it over to about the 30-yard line. And it looks like that'll be an out of bounds. Number 11 of Middle Township throwing it in. And that looks like that'll be an out of bounds off of one of the Middle Township High School players. Or maybe not. Middle Township throws it in. And that will be out of bounds off of one of the Middle Township players. Middle Township right now with possession of the ball, kicks it deep into Vineland's half, but Vineland is able to just defend it and kick it back a little bit further over to the center line. VHS moving a little bit deep into their half of the field, fighting over the ball with Middle Township. Next to be the number 12 of VHS. Throws it in. Now over to Middle Township High School for possession to throw it in. And luckily just saved by VHS's goalie. VHS kicks it up, caught by the number 9. However, that will go out of bounds off of VHS over to Middle Township for possession. And that looks like it will be halftime. so far, a great game from both sides of the field. Thank you so much to our TV crew so far, that being Chiara Landicini on cameras, as well as Arsen Mizuki and Genevieve Carter, and our wonderful director, Mr. Diola. Welcome back, Fighting Clan. We come back from halftime for today's girls soccer match. We have the VHS Fighting Clan versus Middle Township High School Panthers. So far, the score is 3-2. VHS up. Very good game out here so far. Both teams putting on great offenses and defenses. Let's see how the rest of the game continues. Middle Township High School starting off with the ball. Here goes the first kick of the second half of the game. VHS hits it out of bounds. That'll be a throw-in from Middle Township. Moving over into VHS's half. And that will be out of bounds. That will go over to VHS to throw in. And it looks like that will be Middle Township going for a penalty kick. As the number 5 of Middle Township goes for the kick. Number 5 of Middle Township being Keely Sanchez. VHS fighting to keep it out of their half of the field. Passes it upwards, however, that will just go out of bounds. Middle Township throwing it in over to the number 3. VHS moving over towards their half. Number 11 of Middle Township hits up the ball. However, VHS's goalie just able to grab it. VHS kicks it up. VHS moves it quickly over into Middle Township's side of the field. However, it is hit just back into VHS's side. Luckily, it was just a little too far out of the way, so VHS was able to grab it in time and will go for a goalie kick. Kicks it up to about the 45-yard line. And that looks like that has gone out off of VHS, so that will go over to Middle Township to throw in. Middle Township throws it in, and that will go out of bounds, so that will go over to VHS to now throw it in. VHS moving over to Middle Township's side of the field, but Middle Township putting up a nice defense to keep it out, however. That will be a free kick for Middle Township High School. Township fighting with Vineland over there. And that will go up into the bleachers. And that looks to be Vineland heading over into their half, but it will just go out of bounds, keeping Middle Township from scoring. VHS kicks it back out of bounds. That'll go over to Middle Township to throw in. And that will go out of bounds and over the fence. And that will go out of bounds and will go over to VHS. Actually, apologies. That will go over to Middle Township. That will be a penalty kick for Middle Township on VHS's side of the field. Goes for the kick. Up into the air. And it looks like Vineland is just able to keep it away from the goal. Middle Township goes for a shot, and it goes just over top of the goal and on the back of the net. Looks like the number 7 of VHS passes it over to the number 12, it looked like. And that'll be an out of bounds from Middle Township. VHS will now throw in the ball. Number 9 of VHS, Jalissa Cortez, moving that ball upwards. Middle Township kicks the ball back over into Vineland's half of the field. However, that looks like it is just going to go out of bounds. Middle Township throws it in. Header there from VHS. Number 13 of VHS able to get the ball, moving it back over into Middle Township's half. That looks to be the number 16 of VHS who had possession of the ball, that being Sophia DeVito. VHS passes it to the number 9 of Jalissa Cortez, passes it over to the number 6, kicks it over, intercepted by Middle Township. Intercepted again by VHS to repossess the ball. Middle Township moving over to Vineland's half of the field, moving over quite quickly, but luckily their goalie is just able to grab it. Vineland's goalie grabs it and is now going to kick it back into the field. Middle Township moving up over into Vineland's half of the field, getting pretty deep there into the field. Passes it over, Vineland kicks it up in the air, and Vineland's goalie just able to grab it. Middle Township is putting a lot of pressure on VHS, possibly to try and score another point to tie it up to go into overtime. But Vineland pushing back harder to move into Middle Township's side of the field. Passes over to the number 3, kicks it up into the air, but it's just caught by Middle Township's goalie. Middle Township kicks it up into the air. Header from VHS. Moves it back a slight bit, but Middle Township using that pressure to push it back into Vineland's half of the field. But Vineland pushes right back, putting on a pretty good defense against Middle Township's offense. VHS moves it forward over into Middle Township's half. That looks to be the number 13 currently with possession of the ball. Number 13 being Victoria Hoadley. And that looks like that will just go past the touch line and will go over to Middle Township for possession. Also looks to be a offsides. Middle Township will kick off the ball. VHS going to intercept it. As the number 13 of VHS currently with possession of the ball. Passes it over, intercepted by Middle Township, kicked up into the air. That looks to be the number 10 of VHS now has possession of the ball. And that looks to be an injured player on the field. That looked to be the number 1 of Middle Township who had fallen over. Luckily, they seem to be okay. VHS will start with the ball, passes it over. Middle Township fighting to keep that over in Vineland's half of the field. Vineland fighting hard to keep it in Middle Township's half of the field. Moving over to Middle Township, over to Vineland's side. It looks like that'll be an out of bounds. That'll go over to Middle Township for possession. Middle Township will have possession, throws in the ball. VHS headers it up into the air. Another header from Middle Township. Oh. Tumble there from the number 20. Seems to be slightly injured. VHS moving over into Middle Township's half of the field. Kicks it over, but however, it will be caught by Middle Township's goalie. Middle Township kicks it up into the air. VHS regains possession of the ball, keeping it out of their side, keeping it around middle field at the moment. VHS kicks it upwards. Looks like the number 6 of VHS is able to grab it there and keep it moved up to the goal. And that will be another goal for VHS. VHS currently now 4-2. 2-point lead over Middle Township High School so far. Pretty decent game out here today. Looks like the rain seems to be holding off right now. Fighting Clan really putting the fight in today. Middle Township High School starting it off. VHS has possession of the ball. Back over to Middle Township. VHS regaining possession. Kicks it up a little far ahead. VHS has possession of the ball, kicks it over, but is just caught by Middle Township. That was very close to possibly being another goal. Middle Township kicks it up to about the 20. And that looks to be a substitution. VHS throws in the ball deep into Middle Township side of the field. However, that will just go past the touch line. and will go over to Middle Township for possession. Number 21 of Middle Township kicking off the ball. Kicks off the ball, intercepted by the number 6 of VHS, but Middle Township just regains possession, moving quickly into Vineland's half of the field. Vineland fighting hard, however, to keep that ball out of their side of the field. Kicks it over to the number 12. Number 12 kicks it over to the number 13. Stopped by the number 4 of Middle Township, but will go over to Vineland for possession. Vineland throws it in. Vineland's fighting hard here to possibly score another point against Middle Township. Middle Township, however, moving pretty quickly over into Vineland's half of the field. And that looks to be a small communication or miscommunication between two of the members of Middle Township. Ball has gone out of bounds. That will go over to VHS for possession. Possession will now go back over to Middle Township. That'll be the number 5 of Middle Township kicking off the ball. Middle Township kicks off the ball, caught by VHS's goalie. VHS kicks it up into the air. Header from Middle Township. Middle Township moving into Vineland's half of the field. Vineland keeping possession of the ball. And that looks to be a penalty for Vineland. That will go over to Middle Township High School for a penalty kick. Middle Township kicks it up. Intercepted by Vineland. As the number 9 of Julissa Cortez passes it over to the number 6. Moving over into Middle Township's half of the field. Just a little too far back. Hits it into Middle Township's goalie. Kicks it off. VHS just able to keep it into Middle Township's half of the field. Vineland moving over into Middle Township's half of the field. Middle Township kicks it back to their own goalie. Middle Township kicks it up into the air, intercepted by Vineland. Number 9 of Julissa Cortez passes it over. Vineland tries to take another shot on goal, intercepted by Middle Township's goalie. Passes it to the number 3 of Vineland. Middle Township's goalie just able to grab it again. Kicks it out, up into the air. This time intercepted again by Vineland. Number 9 of Julissa Cortez passes the ball over to the number 6 of Amanda Nemeth. Passes it back over to the number 9. Number 9 kicks it over, and that will go back to Middle Township for possession after their goalie grabs it. Middle Township moving over into Vineland's half of the field. Vineland putting on a hard defense to make sure that Middle Township doesn't get control of it. However, that looks like that will go over to Middle Township for a penalty kick. That'll be the number 5 of Middle Township, Keely Sanchez, kicking off the ball. Vineland putting up a wall defense. And Vineland's goalie just able to grab it. Close one there as one of the Middle Township players moved pretty swiftly over to try and kick the ball. Vineland's goalie kicks it up into the air. We're about 20 minutes in so far to the second half of the game. Vineland moving over to the goal, and it just hits the side of the goal going out of bounds. Very unlucky shot there, but a very good shot nonetheless. Both teams fighting hard to score points. Vineland up by 2 currently, whilst Middle Township currently has 2 points. Middle Township is going to have to make quite the comeback in these last 20 minutes of the game to be able to tie the game with Vineland. And that will be an out of bounds. Middle Township throws the ball back in. Vineland regains possession of the ball, kicks it out of the way, back over to Middle Township. Middle Township moving over. Just blocked by Vineland's goalie. Number 9 of Julissa Cortez passing it over to the number 6. I'll go over back to Middle Township for possession. Middle Township moving over towards the goal of VHS, but luckily they're able to stop it, and that will go out of bounds past the touchline. VHS with possession of the ball, kicks it up into the air, over to about the 40-yard line, where it's caught by another VHS player, over to the number 3, kicked over into Vineland's half of the field, pass to the number 9, over to the number 10, fighting there with Middle Township's number 5. Vineland trying to put a decent defense to keep Middle Township away from their goal. VHS moving over into Middle Township's half of the field, intercepted by Middle Township. Passes it over, but is intercepted by VHS. VHS kicks it out of bounds. Middle Township throws it in. Vineland able to regain possession of it. Vineland now has possession of it, throwing it in play. and Middle Township kicks it out of bounds again. That will go over to Vineland for another throw-in. VHS regaining possession of the ball. Still currently sitting in their own half. Kicks it up over to Middle Township's half of the field. Luckily, one of the VHS players looked like the number 6 of VHS, able to grab the ball in time. Middle Township kicks it up into the air. Now go over out of bounds. As the number 20 of VHS, that being Lena Smith. Throws it in. And now go out on VHS. That will go over back to Middle Township for possession. VHS fighting to keep the ball out of their half. That will go back to possession to VHS after a header from Middle Township hits it out of bounds. VHS throws it in. Very long throw over there. Middle Township racing to grab the ball. That's the number 21 of Middle Township. Hits it off one of the VHS players. That goes out of bounds. As the number 21 of Middle Township, that being Parker Milstead. Number 6 of Middle Township throwing the ball in. Intercepted by VHS. And that will be a penalty kick for Vineland High School. VHS going for the kick here, kicks it over, but it looks like Middle Township just able to put up a pretty decent defense to keep that away from VHS. Vineland now in their own half of the field again, almost going out of bounds there. Middle Township passing it amongst themselves, passes it over deeper into Vineland's side of the field. Middle Township kicks it up, but it looks like VHS's goalie almost able to grab it, and it looks like that will be a corner kick for Middle Township. Middle Township kicks it up. And that will just go past the touchline and out of bounds. Now go over to VHS for possession. Very close call there. Looks to be that VHS will be subbing out their goalie after possibly an injury. Looks to be possibly a bloody nose or bloodied upper lip. VHS will start off with the ball, kicks the ball over. Middle Township able to intercept it, but VHS able to grab it right back. VHS now with possession of the ball, kicks it a little bit higher up into the field. VHS moving deep into Middle Township's side of the field. Middle Township kicks it up, and that will go out of bounds. VHS will regain possession of the ball. VHS throws it in. Moving over to Middle Township's side of the field. Middle Township punts it back over to the center of the field. However, Vineland is putting up a great offense to try and keep it back in Middle Township's side of the field. Now over into Vineland's side of the field. And that looks to be an out of bounds. I'll go over to Middle Township for possession of the ball. Middle Township kicks it up, intercepted by VHS. VHS moving pretty quickly over into Middle Township side of the field. Running for the ball over there, and it looks like that will go just into the side of the net. Pretty close call there for Middle Township. And that looks like that will be an out of bounds off of Middle Township. We're in about the last 10 minutes of this game. Looks like VHS will be throwing in the ball. VHS throws in the ball deep into Middle Township's side of the field. Number 9 of VHS going to grab the ball. Able to pass it over to the number 15. Passes it upwards to the number, looks to be the number 13. And possession will go back over to Middle Township. Middle Township kicks the ball back over into the center of the field. VHS regains possession. And that will just be stopped by Middle Township's goalie. Middle Township kicks it up into the air. Vineland fighting hard there to possibly score another point. Header there from Middle Township up into the goalie's hands. Looks like one of the Middle Township players are injured. Be badly injured at that. Doesn't seem like she can move. That looks to be the number 1 of Riley Adam. looks possibly to be an issue with her knee. We're taking a small break here as they investigate the situation with player number 1. Looks like they, actually it looks like they are just able to get her standing on her feet now. Looks like they will be subbing her out for a different player. Hopefully she is okay. At about 8 minutes 40 on the clock after it was stopped. Possession will go over to Middle Township. And the clock starts again. We are back. Middle Township fighting hard now with VHS to regain possession of the ball in their own half. Middle Township moves up over into Vineland's half. Vineland intercepts it, kicks it up into the air. And that looks like that'll be an out of bounds. That'll go over to Vineland for possession. And that looks like that'll be a penalty for Vineland. That will go over to Middle Township to toss it in. That'll be an out of bounds kick from Middle Township. I'll go back over to Vineland for possession to throw it in. Number 12 of Vineland throws it in over to the number 13. And that will be a out of bounds. That will go over to VHS. VHS throws it in. Fighting with Middle Township here to keep possession of the ball. I'll go over to Middle Township for possession. moving over into Vineland's half of the field. Middle Township hits it back again over into Vineland's half of the field. Vineland hits it up, however, it goes out of bounds and hits the 20-yard sign there. Middle Township fighting there with Vineland to regain possession. Over into Middle Township's side of the field. Kicks it out of bounds. Vineland regains possession, throws it in. Vineland passes it over. Over to the number 10. Over again to the number 9 who passes it again. Middle Township tries to kick it back over to Vineland's side of the field, but Vineland is just able to intercept it. Vineland holding possession. And that looks that will go over to Middle Township for possession. Middle Township kicks it up over into Vineland's half of the field. Vineland keeps possession, moves it over into Middle Township's half of the field, goes for a kick, and it just hits the side of the goal again. We are at about the 5-minute mark now. Middle Township really has to make a comeback here. Middle Township kicks it up. Intercepted by Vineland. Vineland moving over towards Middle Township's goal, just able to defend it and keep it away. And that looks like that will go out of bounds, way out of bounds from Middle Township. That will be a corner kick for Vineland. That would be the number 13 of Vineland, Victoria Hoadley, kicking in the ball. Kicks it in. VHS headers it up into the air. Header from Middle Township. And that will be out of bounds. VHS will throw the ball in. Number 20 of VHS passes the ball over to the number 6. Hanging around the out of bounds line there a little bit, and that just goes past the touch line. That will go over to Middle Township for possession. VHS will regain possession of the ball for a throw-in. Middle Township with possession kicks it over into Vineland's half of the field. Vineland kicks it back over to around center field. Middle Township moving up quickly over into Vineland's half. However, that will go out of bounds. That'll be the number 3 of Middle Township, that being Gracie Rapici. I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. Vineland kicks it up into the air. Mountain Township there. Sorry, Middle Township there fighting to keep the ball. Vineland kicks it back into Middle Township's half of the field. Vineland fighting here to keep possession of the ball. That would go back over to Vineland for a throw-in. Vineland throws in the ball. Middle Township able to regain possession of it. Moving over into Vineland's half. Vineland putting up a good defense to keep Middle Township away from their goal. Kicks it up into the air. Vineland's goalie just able to grab it in time. About 40 seconds left on the clock. I'll go over to VHS for possession. Not much left that Vineland has to do here except play keep away. Vineland kicks it off. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is game. Vineland wins 4-2. Absolutely amazing game out here. Both teams put on an amazing show, 100%. Thank you so much to our TV crew for putting in the good work. We got Kira Landacini, Arson Mizuki, and Genevieve Carter all on cameras today, and our director, Mr. Diola. Go check us out on Vineland Public Schools Broadcasting YouTube channel for events and for sports events, concerts, and we hope to see you guys for tomorrow's football game. Have a great night.